Now understand that cancer is also a multifactorial disease. Now, the literal meaning, it's a Latin word which literally means that there is an uncontrolled cell division. Now, you all should understand that our cell cycle works very effectively. So, there are certain checkpoints which will ensure that. So, what are the phases of a cell cycle? So, you will initially have an S phase, G1, G2 and an M phase. S phase is called as the synthetic phase, where the entire cell prepares for the DNA replication and it makes copies which will be checked in the G1 and G2, which are called as the cell cycle checkpoints. Once the cell cycle checkpoints are cleared, it goes into the M phase, that is called as the division phase, mitotic division or meiotic division, depending upon whether it is taking place in somatic cells or in sex cells. Now, 99% of the times the cell cycle checkpoints work very effectively because they have a wonderful mechanism to ensure that the cyclin dependent kinases, CDK proteins are there, which will ensure that the checkpoints are cleared. Only then the cell enters into the division phase. But what happens due to various reasons, either it is genetic reasons or environmental reasons or the lifestyle disorders, these cells will avoid the cell cycle checkpoints and enter into an uncontrolled division phase, because of which they result in the production of tumors. Now, the tumors in connective tissues, we call them as sarcomas, in epithelial cells we call them as carcinomas. So, wherever it is taking place, it generates tumors. Now, these tumors will have all surface antigenic properties, and that's where we use them as tumor markers, but they will be produced. Now, what should we do to control this uncontrolled division? We need to use very strong chemicals, therapeutic agents, which can block the process of replication or transcription or translation. So, you are effectively trying to influence the cells to stop dividing. In the process, probably we will be influencing various other cells to stop their molecular systems. That is why the treatments that are destined for particular tumors are really very painful and they create a lot of repercussions and they create a lot of consequences also. So, this is what exactly happens. So, either it is developed by the genetic causes where you have oncogenes which will get turned on because of various influences again, and there are a lot of epigenetic modifications which influence, where that means there are a lot of environmental factors which are influencing the turning on of the oncogenes. So, most of these oncogenes are present in almost all the individuals, but the trigger to turn on these oncogenes happens only in those people who are susceptible to development of cancers. So, or this probably can be because of mutations. Now, the oncogenes can be activated either because of mutations. Again, these mutations can be caused either by physical agents. Physical agents you're talking about like UV, radiation, or chemical molecules. Now, I think the usage of strong chemicals knowingly or unknowingly in our day-to-day life is a major cause now why there is an increased cancer development in population. Let's say starting from environmental pollution, excessive vehicular pollution, usage of plastic, microplastics, all these, and then a lot of pesticide endowed food, all these is probably causing us to incorporate a lot of chemicals knowingly or unknowingly. Even in terms of excessive drug usage, sometimes we are giving our body a lot of chemicals. So, these chemical and physical mutagens might be triggers to activate the oncogenes, and there are various other environmental factors, as I said, pollution. Now, this can also be caused by oncogenic viruses. So, there are a lot of RNA, DNA based viruses which will cause cancers.